Hey, folks, and welcome back to Money and Politics. And can you believe that it is already September? I know I probably say that a lot. It just seems, it's a truism that the older you get, the years go by so quickly. I mean, it seems like Christmas was about, 3 months ago. And here we are now, September. I love fall. As I've said the other day, it's my favorite time of the year. I love walking out in the woods and seeing the trees changing colors and just the smell of the woods, the smell of the leaves. I used to love, but you don't do it anymore, when we burned leaves when I was a kid. You remember that we used to have just this cloud of smoke hanging over the subdivision, and we used to jump over the burning leaves. Uh, it was fun. I had a great childhood. Anyway, many fond memories of fall and all that it brings. The football, the food, the cool weather. I am not a fan of hot days, but this weekend we're going to be Labor Day, and I'm going to be, I think, going to Lake of the Ozarks. So I'm looking forward to that. Tonight, as I tape this on September 1 at 6:30, so just about 2 hours from now as I'm taping this, I'm going to be doing another Twitter Spaces conversation. Now, the last time I did that, I didn't have any inkling of what I was getting into, and I spoke for 6 hours. I'm not going to speak for 6 hours tonight. I'm thinking in my mind an hour, something like that. So anyway, if you have time to join us, do that. I'm still a little rusty on even, go to Twitter. They've been announcing it, the people who are organizing it, so go check it out there. Let's just kind of do things quickly here, and let me see. So I'm going to be starting, as we normally do, with Humble. I have a 6-month chart here that I wanted to bring up. You can see we ran up a couple of days ago. We are at 79 cents, as you see. The thing I would point out, folks, is that if you go back to April 25, that was a buck and a half or so. But you get down to here, what's that, May 21, and we're in the ballpark of where we are now. That's 83 cents. We had a little bit of a rise, but basically that's the fifth month. For about 3 months now, we have found a foundation price. Not going to hell. It's not going to a quarter. It's not going to 50 cents. It is around where we are today, and that's the foundation price. So when you get a dip, and this is up to you, but one of the things I have talked about, again, do what's good for you, is that if you wanted to trade some shares, you can hold some that are a core holding, but you could buy some other shares that you're going to buy on a dip if it went to something like, I know a while back it was at 63 cents. Let me see if I take a month chart. It got down to like 63 cents there or so. And, you could buy that, and subsequently from that price, it ran up to right around 90 cents. So you had almost a 50% gain. And while we're waiting, in the long run, we're waiting and going to have our core holdings go up. We can hold on to that core. You don't want to be all out and then have it pop and go to where you were dreaming it would go, and you're no longer, on the bus. But what you can do is buy some shares just for trading purposes. So that's one thing I wanted to bring out. And as I have said in the past, I think there's maybe some news going on in the background that hopefully we'll hear something. I'm speculating there. I don't have any hard information on that. Whoops. Let me go back. If you didn't see the interview that I did yesterday with the CEO of Zynex, I would suggest you watch it. As you can see now, it's $13.37. That is, here's the 5-day chart. Let's look at the 1 month. So Zynex, the story is that they are building, have built a sales force. And I'm going to get myself out of the way here. And if you look, let's look at the green bars here on the right. Look at the growth in income because they have added these salespeople. And when I talked to Thomas Sangard yesterday, who is the CEO and founder of Zynex, what he said is when you look over here on the far right, that high green chart, that's their revenue shooting up to $80 million from 45. But you see their revenues are flat at about $9 million, which is where it was, previously. However, the however is now they've done the hiring and they're no longer adding salesmen as quickly as they did before, number one. Number two, the salesmen that they hired, it takes a while to bring them up to speed, and then they become more productive. I mean, it's like anything. You've been working a territory, sales territory, you're going to build your sales up, and that's what they're doing. So the anticipation here is that the profit margins are going to go up. And if you look at, what I would say is look at the video I did yesterday. You can see this news report here that came out 2 months ago that Zynex announces 247% order growth and increases Q2 adjusted earnings estimate. Actually, they had a very good earnings report. So I think a lot of people just haven't picked up on this, and I would encourage you right here to read their earnings call transcript. First thing I would do is listen to my interview from yesterday with the CEO, Mr. Sangard of Zynex. I hope to bring you increasingly, not that I'm going to be talking to CEOs all the time, but Mr. Sangard was the first, and I want to bring you interviews with other CEOs throughout the year. As I said, maybe somewhere in the order of 15 to 20. I think that would be appropriate, and I hope that'll happen. I hope that we can, maybe get an interview down the road with Brian Foote, of course. Now, I want to bring up one last thing here, and that is something I've talked about, but I haven't talked about it a whole lot. This is an exchange-traded note. It is similar to an ETF, exchange-traded fund. What they do here, and let me, you can see here's a 1-year chart. Let's go to a 5-year chart. You can see how this has grown. So what this is, it's like the TQQ, 3 Qs, it is leveraged, and you're buying in one fell swoop. And here, look at that price, $40. Folks, if you want to be diversified and buy a bunch of growth stocks, this is one you can look at, FNGU, Frank Nancy George Union, okay? And you see it's got about a 1% annual fee, but look at their holdings here on the right, and these are some great companies you're buying all in one fell swoop. You got Alibaba, of course, that's a Chinese stock. Alphabet, the parent company of Google, Amazon, Apple, Baidu, another Chinese stock there, Facebook, Netflix, NVIDIA, Tesla, and Twitter. My own choice would be, instead of Twitter, to have Twillo, Twlo. But what these are, if you look on the far right, this is not it's, you might say, all of these shares are 10%. Unlike ETFs, which are more prioritized as far as the manager holding them. However, this has done this FNGU. That's one to put on your list. And for those of you who, you don't want to buy the TQQ, this is one that you can buy, and it will bring in a bunch of diversity and have some good stocks. Now let's go to, this is the chart for 1 year. And let me see, and I haven't done this already, let's see how this compares to the leverage version of the NASDAQ, which is the TQQQ. And I've talked about this before. I love the TQQ generally. Oh, I meant to make that a different color. I love the TQQ generally speaking, but we have to be a little careful, and you can see there the TQQ over a 1 year period has outperformed the FNGU. On the other hand, it is now TQQ about $150, where the FNGU is about 38. If we look at a 5-year chart, and I don't know where our TQQ went there. But anyway, the 5-year chart, you can see you've had some good growth on there. I'm going to see if I can, if we just compare that to the NASDAQ, it's outperforming the NASDAQ without it being leveraged. I'm going to see if I can bring, I don't know why sometimes it drops the symbols. So let's do again the TQQ and see how that works out. There we go. So over 5 years, the FNGU has outperformed even the TQQQ, which is the leverage version of the NASDAQ, and the NASDAQ being the yellow line. So that is a way for you to build your wealth without going crazy, without having to, you say, I only got so much money, and I get it. You can buy one share. You can buy one share a month. I mean, if money's tight, buy one share of FNGU a month, $40, $40, $40. And when it's growing, as it has, at now over the last 5 years, about 600%, that's pretty good growth, And over the last 2 years, it is up tremendously, as you can see, even more than what its growth rate was over the last 5 years. There you got 1,000% on the FNGU. There's a lot of good ways that you can make money in the markets. You don't always have to take that risk that comes when you're trying to buy, one individual company. And so this is where I think for a lot of you, look, I have never said to people, put all your money into one stock. I am not saying to put all your money into in the Humble or any other one stock. There's a number of stocks I like. I love, as you know, INMD. I've talked about that. Do I say put all your money into that? I do not. I think it's always good to be diversified, and the FNGU is one way that you can do that. So that is what I would suggest, and that is what I would say you can do. I'm sorry, I was kind of distracted. I was looking for my video that I normally run at the end of the show, and I may have inadvertently erased that. So I'll say, folks, for tonight, have a good night. I'm going to prepare for this evening. If you can join us, please do so. Again, that's Twitter Spaces, and we begin at 6:30 Central Time, which is just 2 hours from now. Again, I'll probably participate in the area of an hour. There's going to be some other people talking, and I think, I don't know how many people, we actually got up to 200 last time. I think we're going to have maybe a big gathering tonight. I think you can ask questions in there if you want to hear them. If I can answer them, I will. If I can't, I'll say I don't know the answer. But anyway, hopefully we all have some fun, okay? It's just audio, no video. But, that would be fun, too, to have a group sometime down the road where we can be all on camera. All right, that's it for tonight, as always, it got longer than I anticipated. Thank you, as always, folks. Leave me your comments. If you listen tonight, leave me your comments either on Twitter, or you can do it underneath this video in the comments section. Okay? Take care. Until next time.